So I'm going to speak on race right now because I've been scrolling TikTok. Yes, I have. And I've been noticing the reoccurring theme of this melanated race versus another race, if the case may be, right? And so I'm going to take this opportunity to reveal through Islam that concept of division, particularly due to the complexion of a people, is inconsistent with ancient principles, particularly that of Islamic principles. So I keep hearing everybody talking about, let me move this back some. I keep hearing, and again, I've been a part of this, so I'm aware of this ideology, but I've been aware that there are a lot of people out there who are expressing Islam. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. There are Moors out here who present this idea. Let me rephrase that. There are dark-skinned humans. There are dark-skinned humans that are holding fast to this idea or this concept that there are other humans, or that there is one human identity and then all are subhuman. Does that sound familiar to you? Does that concept of there is only one race and all others are subhuman? That was abolished with the 13th Amendment. Okay? That concept was abolished by the 13th Amendment. In Islam particularly, right? White means purity. Purity means God, and God means ruler of the land. And Islamically, you will see, Islam is definitely in Europe, definitely in the Middle East, and definitely in North Africa. This is what I'm holding up, the ethnicity and race form, right? In Islam, all humanity is of the white race. Because white in Islam just means creditor, free of debt, free of sin. You come into existence already perfected, already redeemed. You're already redeemed. All you yourself have to do is to acknowledge and then act as if within the standard of being white, and you are identified, you are recognized as white. All right? So slavery is this concept of one skin tone group of people being different from another. This is what we can call it. Okay? This is what some of these Moors and some of these Black Indians, or you got some Pan-Africanists. What's this other movement that's coming up? I don't know, Black Foundational Black Americans, something like that. All of these concepts that people are dealing with, right? These are names and principles that delude to slavery. And again, as Muslims, as Moorish Americans, we accept all of humanity. Let me. I know I was just in this, but let me get back into this real quick. There it is. When you hear Moorish Americans out there talking about the melanated peoples versus everybody else, they have not. They are not true Moors. They're not true Muslims. They're not. They may have the blood, true indeed, but they don't have the state of mind. Six. So earlier, I was reading from the Moorish Guide newspaper articles, and I'd read what is called "Think This Over, You Moors," where I was explaining, where I was going over how Noble Drew Ali was instructing American citizens in and outside of his group, right? How banking was to be done and to look towards the banking system that was to come, right? And he's explaining all of this banking, right? And mind you, Drew Ali calls himself a universal prophet, meaning that his philosophy is meant for all, not just for his particular physical nation of people, or his, not particularly for the melanated, highly melanated people, but for all people. And he makes mention in his organization, or in these instructions, that the practice, there must not be the, okay, let me just read it. It says, the heads of all temples, grand sheiks, grand sheikhs, must conform to the divine principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Moorish Americans, particularly their leaders, must confirm come in. I thought you were coming in. Drew Ali says, they must live the life among the members and be loved even as the prophet is loved. Listen, they must not practice the principle of segregation among any group in his or her temple. Segregation. Segregation in the 20s. In the 1900s, definitely through the 1920s. When the term segregation is mentioned, it is relative to race. Okay? I've heard some attempt to describe this instruction as a separation between the men and the women, that there is not supposed to have any segregation within any group. No. This movement is for all American citizens. Drew Ali had all American citizens in attendance, various nationalities, various countrymen who have come here in America as American citizens. Okay? And Drew Ali is teaching, particularly through Islam, the universal brotherhood. Right? Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be for all whose status is in honor. Honor is noble. An honorable man or woman is a noble man. When you speak to the judge and you say, Your Honor, you're saying, Dear noble. Okay? So, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice is for all who are in honor. Not just some people, but for all people who are in honor, regardless of your national descent, regardless of where you were born. Right? Everyone is honorable. Just because you were born in Italy doesn't mean that you have any higher status in America than someone born in Morocco. Just because you are an Italian whose ancestors were born in Italy does not make you any less Italian, right? But it does make you, by you being born here and honoring your ancestral estate here, you're recognized. Well, where was I getting at? Regardless, you have the same status. Yeah, you're recognized. That's what it was, as honorable or noble, right? Having true claim to the land. All right. When man honors man, he honors Allah. This is the Islamic principle that is given to the Moorish Muslims in regards to the Golden Rule. Some of you may be familiar with the Golden Rule according to your religious denomination, right? Some say, treat others as you wish to be treated, do unto others as you wish that be done unto you. The blood of a Muslim is sacred to all other Muslims, right? There's this honor system that puts everybody in the same space, right? So when Drew Ali says they must not practice the principle of segregation among any group in his or her temple, what he's saying is all are welcome. All are welcome. This is for everybody. Islam is for everybody. It's not for the blacks, because black means outside of the human race. According to law, a black estate is a non-descendable, non-redeemable collateral. It cannot be redeemed. So there is no honor. It can never mature. Right? Drew Ali teaches for you all who are not familiar with the information that all Moorish Americans are supposed to be using in their daily affairs, right? If you're not aware of it, right? What I'm about to place on the board is in reference to the literature that is known as the Quran Questions for Moorish Americans, right? There is a 101 questionnaire questions and answers that were given by Drew Ali to be utilized alongside the Circle 7 Quran. That's why it's called Quran Questions for Moorish Americans. Okay? Let me show you. So, most times you may see it like this, right? When you hear Moorish Americans talk about we're not black, Negro, colored, when you hear them speaking about descendants of Moroccans born in America, when you hear them speaking of that old time religion and stuff like that, this information is coming specifically from here. You'll also find it in the Moorish Guide newspaper literature, like the Moorish Leader's Historical Message to America, where he's speaking on certain things, right? But specifically, especially, primarily, all of these assertions that you hear Moorish Americans profess come from these 101 questions and answers. Okay, so this is supposed to be their guide, if you will, right? This is as if you have enrolled into a job. These are the instructions for your job. Okay? So I'm reading the instructions of the Moorish Divinely National Movement, right? This is what the people, they're supposed to see this and understand this. So, all right, let me see. Let me see here. We're going to speak, we're going to find out what does Drew Ali and his movement, yes, here we go, say about black, right? About black and about white, right? And then we're going to take a quicker moment just conceptually to recognize what is the common denominator between black and white here relative to the Moorish Americans. And we're going to see that black means African American and white means North African. So these are two African, if you will, designations. Okay? The questionnaire states, can a man be a Negro, black, colored, and Ethiopian? Okay, so this is the literature, right? And let's get this in there. This is important for you all to understand, right? All right. So the Moorish Americans in their questionnaire, right, they are asked, can a man be a Negro, black, colored, and Ethiopian? And the answer is no. Okay? Now, the question is, can a man, period. 1 second. All right. I don't know if y'all heard that or not, whatever the case may be. Okay, so what I was stating, it says, can a man be Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian? No. Okay. And we also learn because remember, these are questions that pertain to the Circle 7 Quran, right? So we learn that man and God are one. This is what we learn from the Circle 7, okay? We learn that man and God are one. So can God be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian? No. These are economic debtor designations. These are non-living designations. These are non-redeemable designations. Okay? Then, next question. Let me see. The next question is simply why. Okay, so now we have question and answer 91. Why? Why what? Why can a man not be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian? Because a man is made in the image and after the likeness of God, Allah. Okay? So God is not black, right? It says, what title does Satan give himself? We know, Moorish Americans know, that your God and your devil, his name is self. So Satan means adversarial. All right? It says, what title does Satan give himself? God. So the lower self gives itself that title of authority. All right? But this is what, okay, 93. So we're looking at God as a title of citizenship, national citizenship. Okay? Will you define white? Will you define white? White means purity. Purity means God. And God means ruler of the land. Can a man be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian? No. Why? Because a man is made in the image and after the likeness of God, Allah. What title does Satan give himself? God. So even the lower self knows itself. Will you define white? White means purity. Purity means God. God means man. Man and God are one. These are North African lessons being taught to you. Okay? White means what? White means a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. These three continents form a crescent in which America sits in the heart. Let me show you. Mm. 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 You know what? I'm going to do it this way. Right? We have North America, Central America, South America, Canada, Alaska, Atlantean Islands, okay? Over here, we have North Africa and South Africa. Over here, we have Asia. And all up in here, we have Europe. So if we're looking at America as one landmass, we have Europe, the Middle East of Asia, and North Africa surrounding America. No. So Moorish Americans are supposed to understand that if you are from anywhere on the planet and you acknowledge or identify as one with the whole, remember, white is the only status that shows 3 continents dwelling in America. Every other one has a separate, segregated, subnational. National means all inclusive. Tribalism is subnational. I am back and still can't see nor hear you. So frustrating. You take care, family. You take care. Right? Again, so if you are, yeah, that's what I was saying. American Indian, Alaska Native, right? They have a definition for that. Asian means that they have a definition for that. So-called African American, they have a designation for that. And Pacific Islander. So now, mind you, this is the Pacific Islander over here, right? So we have the Atlantean Islands over here, right? And the Lemurian Islands over here, right? And these first four designations identify people as separate from the whole. And then we have white, which classifies everything around and in as white. So according to Islam, your skin tone, whether you are highly carbonated, melanated, or not, that's not what makes you a creditor. That's not what makes you a businessman or woman. Your skin complexion does not determine your national standard or your national standing. It doesn't. In Islam, all are one. I don't see your skin color. I just know that we're all white. We're all pure. Purification. We've all formed ablution, the ghusl, right? Or the wudu, or the tayammum, right? Where we have come to Allah, we've cleaned, we've perfected ourselves, and we started 3 times, because this is trust law. I washed my right hand. I washed my left hand. I grabbed water in my nostrils, out my nostrils 3 times. Water. All right. We are purifying ourselves. This is a physical ritual. White means, according to the instructions of Noble Drew Ali's movement, white means purity, and purity means God. So we know in economics, in business, you have to come with clean hands. So white means unblemished, pure. Black means blemished, stained, varnished, darkened, blackened, colored. That's what they mean, right? So, as a Moorish American, you must understand that everyone who calls themselves Moorish is a Moorish American. Whether their skin tone is pale skin and they're from Italy. Oh, hold on. Let me show you what Drew Ali says about that, right? Because slavery's over, y'all. We can stop hating now. You can stop hating your fellow man now, right? We've already learned that hating someone for any reason, right? It's definitely not going to benefit you or your babies in the future if we keep passing this hate down. All right? Just saying. We can get out of that. If you can get out of that color game, man. Because the color game is what keeps people divided. The color game, the crayon game, is what keeps the people in debt. It's what keeps us in debt, because instead of us trying to come together, we're trying to find little things to separate us. We're supposed to pull everything. We're supposed to pull everything together as humans. You heard me? So, I would like to tell you what Noble Drew Ali says. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go into this at some point too. Absolutely. Now that I know, I know. Look here, right? We have reported that the Europeans went to the Moroccan government and asked for permission to come over here to the United States to develop this land. And they were given a 50-year mandate to do so. Then the Europeans went to an old sheikh and asked him to give them some people to help them to develop this land. The sheikh told them to take those Moors. They're not going to do anything. Right? So remember, said that he went to the sheikh, right? First place they went, where? Hold on. Here we go. Sold to Morocco. Told him take them over there, they ain't doing nothing. Drew Ali told us that the Europeans put a birthright out in 1774. All right, just saying, Drew Ali is already telling us, he's already lining us up, right? But he's just telling you some things, right? That's not even... Yes. So listen to this, right? Wow, what's the reference book? The Moorish Americans Economic Security, a manual prepared by Professor Davis L. You can find this on the website, link in bio. You can go to the actual first page of the site, and you can, the home page, and you can download all four. These are 4 downloads, right? If you purchase it from the website, what you are doing is you are purchasing this and another book bound to be sent to you. So we offer this information to you free of charge if you wish to bind it on your own. But if you wish for us to bind it for you, there is the fee, right? But all right. Listen to what Drew Ali says, right? It says, we, meaning the Moors, have the blood of every nation flowing through our veins, thereby bringing about a cross spirit. So Drew Ali just said that the Moors, period, just Moors, it's a blanket. He laid a blanket down. The Moors have the blood of every nation. So he's saying that every nation of humanity are Moorish. He didn't say anything about skin complexion. He didn't say anything about where you are, where your land is. He said Moors, blanket. All Moors have the blood of every nation. So there are Italian Moors. Yes. There are Chinese Moors. Yes. There are Hindu Moors. Well, what's this whole thing about Moors? Moor really just means love. That's another comment for another. We are all love. All right, so listen to what else Drew Ali says. The Italians have our blood mixed in their veins. That is why They are so mean. Now, he said that the Italians are mean, right? And then he goes on to tell you, we, the Moors, are a hard-headed, stiff-necked, mean set of people that have never did anything except at the point of a sword. So again, Drew Ali is telling you that the Moors are no different than these other people. All right? Drew Ali is not telling you that the Moorish Americans are some independent, separate, just melanated people. Slavery is over, y'all. Y'all need to get with the time. Slavery is over. Been over. Been over, y'all. I'm a white person. Appreciate it. I'm a white person. Look at me. I'm a white person. What does that mean? I'm not a black person. I am a white person. Both of my mother and my father are heavily melanated North African descendants here in America with white status. Hold on. Let me show you again. Where did I put that at? This is important. Y'all gotta know this stuff, man. We out here arguing with one another, arguing with each other, right? When we need to all be getting to the bag. We all need to be getting to the bag. Look, man, white means European, Middle Eastern, which is Asian, or North African. What's up, brothers and sisters, man? Italy's in Europe. We know all about Moorish Europe, Al-Andalus and Alhambra and all of that. I don't understand where a lot of these Moors get off thinking that Moor just means dark-skinned people. It's the dark-skinned Moors that ain't know they self. It's the dark-skinned Moors that need to realize that, hey, we're all family. Right? Slavery's been over since the 13th Amendment. You heard me? Yes, the bag is important because it's our wealth. It's our wealth. It's our children's wealth. It's generational wealth. We sitting here arguing and nitpicking. Oh, he's not a real Muslim, or man, get out of here with all that. Get out of here with all that. Oh well, he's a Negro. He's a Negro pin. All of that hate mongering, that hate speech, that's not a part of Islam at all. Islam teaches of a universal brotherhood. So if you hear people who claim to be Muslim, who are out here dividing the people, know for a fact, them niggas, they're not true Muslims. They may be Muslim outwardly, but they don't have it in themselves to recognize that literally all humans, not even just humans, all things that exist are Muslim. Because a Muslim is the manifestation of God's will. It is love. That's what Muslim means according to Islam and these principles. In your religious denomination, you have the same tools according to your clergy. To Muslims, we're Mohammedans. Muhammad was a national representative of the Ummah, of the people, of the Muslim nation. Within the whole nation of the earth, you have Muslims who stand next to Christians, Jews, etc. Muhammad, he was the national representative of the Muslim nation within the greater nation. Me as a Pennsylvanian, I am a Muslim Pennsylvanian. I'm a national representative of the Muslims in Pennsylvania, alongside my fellow Christian, Judaic, etc., brothers and sisters of the nation. And all that muscles and limbs, I don't even talk about that. I don't use codex. But yeah. Muscle, organ, skin, ligament, energy, magnetism. If you wish to use that philosophy, that is the makeup of every living human being, regardless of what their skin looked like, regardless of where they were born, regardless of what their bloodline is. Muscle, organ, skin, ligament, energy, magnetism. And that's not just the human either. You feel me? That is all creations. According to the Muslim literature, all life are deities, all life are God. And so muscle, organ, skin, ligament, energy, magnetism definitely plays a predominant role in that. But again, I don't use the codex because that's murky water. It's murky water. Right? It's a perspective. It's a cool perspective. But I'm trying to keep this shit so plain. Right? So, let's get back to Ali, right? Listen, right? Where did I place that at? Hold on one moment. Yeah, where did I place that at? Oh, there it is. All right, now listen to what I'm about to say, right? Drill these words, right? Where we at? The Moors were once a seafaring people who fed the world. The time was going to come when we would go back and feed the world again. I am a seafaring Moor. I am a commercially secured governor, operator, discipliner. What about the belief? Hold on. What about the belief we have all been every single life that exists? So, no, I am a mystic. This is mysticism. And the belief that we as human beings evolved from other forms into the human form is not cohesive. Everything you always have, everything you are, you always have been. I cannot remember a time when I was a monkey or a fish or a snake, right? But I know that these things, these qualities, these attributes are present, ever present in this physical form. But the existence that is myself, that has possessed this human form, has only ever possessed human form. Because that is the plane of existence that my spirit domains, dwells, resides, if you will. So in Islam, we do not believe that in equity. We do not believe that we were once something and then became other things. You must always be what you are. I hope that helps. All right. Let's see here. I ain't gonna touch that topic right now, because I could give a whole day about that. Listen, Drew Ali has said, before the end of time, every knee will bow to Islam. Okay? So let's pick that apart, right? Let's unfold that. Because Jesus said the same thing. Only he used the word peace. Which, if we know the language of Jesus, he did say Islam. But that's neither here nor there at this particular moment. Okay, let's break this down, right? Before the end of time. Time, we learn as Moorish Americans that time equals cycles. And time never was when man was not, right? So he's saying before the end of the cycle, every knee will bow to Islam. Now, what is Islam? Equity. So then when was the end of time? (1929). When we left common law and we went under the Emergency Act and went straight into equity. Straight in it. Exclusive. So at the end of time, at the end of the economic cycle, everyone had to get right with equity. What did Drew Ali do? Do I do this, y'all? Do I do this? You see it to know it to be true when you look at me? Absolutely. Right? I do this. We do this here. I hope I'm loved like the prophets love. 100. 100. So, Drew Ali, so for those of you who are not aware, right, who may come into this information, Drew Ali started his ministry as an insurance provider, insurance company, policy provider at that, about 1913. By 1929, he had taken that information, right, and he developed a program of economic security to be able to present to the American people. Okay? So 1929 was the end, the end of time. Because July of 1929, Noble Drew Ali left the scene. Okay? So this particular information that I'm about to read, and I've already read it, but I'm going to read it again so that we can see where, right? This was circa 1929. So this is going to show us that Noble Drew Ali was a prophet. What is a prophet? A professional forecaster. Sounds about right. A professional auditor. All right? So he says all sheiks and grand sheiks, these are temple clergy, trustee officials. Okay? These would be the equivalents now to your governors, lieutenant governors, secretaries of state, treasurers, etc., right? All sheiks and grand sheiks must prepare for the prophet before he comes to visit them must see to it that all is clean. Remember, white means purity. That all is clean and in perfection. Perfected. Muslim means perfected. Perfected man. That all is clean and in perfection as far as comfort as possible, or otherwise don't arrange to have his presence. All members should pay from 25 cents to 50 cents weekly towards the emergency fund. So he's telling you right here, right, that you need to pay into the Social Security because that's an insurance policy. He's telling you that you must pay into it, right? He says the fund will increase so that it will soon amount to the grand sum of $1,000. During that time, $1,000 was still called what it's called today, an emergency fund. It's a nest egg. It's Social Security. It's collateral that's been put aside, right, that can be put out to generate other finance and come back so that you, the true lender, right, when necessary, can now, I need that. Your portion helped the whole group. So he's explaining to us Social Security right here, right now, is what he's talking about. He says that is if you are loyal Moors. He says the emergency fund goes into the bank. Well, we know that the Federal Reserve banks have the beneficiary accounts. It's there. And we know that the U.S. Treasury is our banks. But wait, there's more. The emergency fund goes into the bank. The treasurer, see, just said that. The treasurer will tend to the responsibility of seeing that the money is in the bank, yes, and under the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America Finance. So, Moorish Science Temple of America Finance, that is the name of the trust. Okay? Today, the name of the trust after 1929, mine is Pennsylvania. That is the name of my national trust. He's telling me. So I'm banking under Pennsylvania. Okay? He's telling me. But listen, right? When needed. When needed. When. Not if. Not should it happen. This was not a preparation of potential happenings. This was provision for telling of a matter that is imminent, inevitable to happen. When needed, act according to the law pertaining to the procedure of performing an emergency act. Money in the bank, overseen by the treasurer. Emergency Act, Emergency Banking Relief Act. Right here. He already told you. He already told you that we were going into equity. He just told you the Emergency Banking Relief Act happened in 1933. The end of times was 1929. That's when the head of Satan was taken off. Satan is the feudal law. When we say that Satan, what title does Satan give himself, God? This is the feudal law that's being removed. Before the end of cycles. The reset and end of a cycle is what? The beginning of a new cycle, right? We talking cycles, right? So before the end of the cycle, every knee will bow to Islam. And when that time comes, act according to that Emergency Banking Act that deals exclusively in equity. Man. Again, I don't know why these Moorish Science Temple of America Grand Sheiks and Sheikesses or whatever, and all of these Moorish secure party creditor gurus, I don't understand how they missing this information when old boy put it out there, plain as day, plain. It's plain. I caught it. I know you just caught it. Drew Ali was teaching Moorish Americans and all other American citizens prior to 1929 how to bank, and told them that there's a time that's going to come when you have to follow certain procedures according to an emergency act. My nigga, when Drew Ali, damn, I don't even have it. Where is it at? Maybe. I'm gonna show you all if I still, and I should have it, so I hope I do. All right, I'm gonna show y'all exactly what Noble Drew Ali told y'all to do, and he told you to do it by following. He told you, imitate me, do what I did to receive what I received. All right, you know what? I could do it this way. It's no big deal. Okay. Drew Ali told you to follow me. I said, I know you have it. Absolutely. All right, here we go. So, in July of 1928, right? Drew Ali in we're talking about slavery being abolished, about the human race being white, about race not dealing with your skin tone, about how in Islam all humanity, regardless of skin complexion, have white creditor status all over the planet. And now I am speaking specifically as to the instructions that were given to myself and all other American citizens as to how to secure yourself economically in these current economic times. Right? So Noble Drew Ali establishes the National Trust, Affidavit of Religious Organization, the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? This is a 1099 form. So Drew Ali has let it be known to his state, the state of Illinois, right, that this nation of people has secured their collateral. And he pledged it to the state. That represents the gold, the silver, and the commerce prior to 1929. During up to 1929. So he said, remember, he said, when necessary, when needed, act according to the law pertaining to the procedure of performing an emergency act, right? I'm honest to you. I'm grateful for you to be here as well, getting this information. Absolutely, because the more you all know, in all honesty, the less of a workload it becomes for me, and I can go and do those other things as well. Appreciate you all. All right? So again, Drew Ali tells us, when needed, act according to the law pertaining to the procedure of performing an emergency act. So he just showed us what to do. You take this DS-11 form, which is National Citizenship Application, along with an affidavit, just to explain religiously, economically, right? You take this, you fill this out, you take your gold, silver, commercial collateral, debt. And emergency fund called. And you pledge it to your state. You pledge it to your state. And what does this do? It secures your collateral with your state. Well, what is secured debt called? Secured debt is called credit. So you've pledged your collateral. Now you got secured credit. You've got secured debt. It's the same debt, but now it's secured. So now when you utilize this information anywhere you would use your debtor's number, you now use your creditor's number. Then that Emergency Banking Relief Act procedure stuff, internally, it just happens. Jarrell, he just told you what to do. He told you what to do. He told you what to do. Now I'm going to tell you exactly where he tells you what to do. So we can look over this and see is Brother David Sell really speaking what Drew Ali is telling us? Or maybe Brother David Sell has an unclear perception. And we'll be able to find out. You know, absolutely. Yes. Okay. Man. A divine warning by the prophet for the nations. Lemon squeezy, you heard? I see that. Absolutely, right? No, you don't have to go get an EIN for your all caps name. If that's what you came here with, the people in the classroom know how I feel about people asserting things with no qualification. Be careful what you post in this room. Okay? No, we don't have. Let me help you. You have your EIN. That's your passport number. You already have it. All right? You don't have to go and set up a trust because your state already has it. You don't have to go and create an estate because the estate's created. This is your whole estate right here, the birth certificate, Social Security, and all of that. That is your estate. And so when you pledge all of that, you get you an EIN, a professional EIN. And it operates as a limited liability company, a corporation, a partnership, anything where it needs to operate other than an individual. She said, whomsoever said, this is the easy peasy method. Absolutely. Absolutely. Appreciate the follow. So listen, right? This is called a divine warning by the prophet for the nations. This is Noble Drew Ali telling the Moorish Americans, the Muslim Americans, and all other Americans, right, who would hear him, what exactly it is that the nation he feels needs to know. He says, the citizens of all free national governments. Do you have a free national government? Do you know the name of your free national government? The name of my free national government is Pennsylvania, which is why I pledged all my collateral to Pennsylvania. Right? The citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, are all of one family bearing one free national name. So this is the state. Right? Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names and abuses and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. Black, Negro, color. Really? Again, not having this, this is the source of your economic problems is that you don't have this. Easy peasy. Niggas can't get in your pocket if you just go right to the source. Just trying to tell you. That's what Drew Ali was trying to tell you. Right? All right. And it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional laws of a free national government and cling to the names and the principles that allude to slavery. Black status is slavery because you don't get to redeem anything. You're not seen civilly at all. You're not even subnational. You're there's a word that was just right there. But you were not recognized. Period. Right? Absolutely. All right. I, the prophet, was prepared by the great God Allah to warn my people to repent from their sinful ways and go back to that state of mind of their forefathers' divine and national principles, that they will be law abiders and receive their divine right as citizens, according to the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. So mind you, my free national government's name is Pennsylvania. Right? Birthplace where? Pennsylvania, right? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, shit. But whatevs, right? Birthplace, Pennsylvania, right? All right. Now, he said according to the free national constitution that was written for all free national beings, right? And so we've got not only Pennsylvania, but we've got USA right behind it. My nationality is USA, meaning one of the constituent members of the Union, right? That's my nationality. My citizenship is here with Pennsylvania. I'm a Muslim American in Pennsylvania. Or I'm a Moorish American in Pennsylvania. I am a Muslim Pennsylvanian American. I am a Pennsylvania Muslim American. Right? Pennsylvania is my free national name that has its own free national constitution. And then he was saying that we are to declare under the free national constitution written for all. So again, Pennsylvania and USA. It's right here, right? They are to claim their own free national name and religion. There is but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and of the earth, and it comes only through the connection of the Moorish Divine National Movement, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all other nations of the world. Tell me a nation that does not recognize this right here. Right. Huh? Huh? Right? So all the above, absolutely. Now listen, right? Which is, he says that this is incorporated, this movement, this program is incorporated into this government, USA, and recognized by all other nations of the world. Now, Pennsylvania, the United States of America, the United States is recognized everywhere. Not only do I have as a Pennsylvania flag and the motherfucking commercial banner, this is what y'all need, right? But anywho, listen, right? He says, and through it, they and their children can receive their divine rights unmolested by other citizens, that they can cast a free national ballot at the polls under the free national constitution of the state's government. So I could go to Pennsylvania and cast my free national ballot for the president, right? Or the governor. And no, for the president and for the governor. Just period. Listen. Unmolested by other citizens, that they can cast a free national ballot at the polls under the free national constitution of the state's government, and not under a granted privilege as has been the existing condition for many generations. That condition is the 15th Amendment, which is associated with the 14th Amendment, which is associated with the black status. Who knew? Your most inner self knew. Yeah. And the light, we've been in the dark all this time, and the light's been out since, the light has been known since 1929, for a fact. And everybody was like this to you. Everybody was like, this is the whole Secure Party Creditor Redemption Manual program, is what this is. That has been revealed through the so-called African Americans, who are now being recognized as American Muslims of their states and not of any denationalized African racial group. Because we found that North Africa's racial group is white. And so if it's anything other than that in Africa, we don't want to even deal with that. All right? Right. All right, let's see. You who doubt whether I, the prophet, and my principles are right for the redemption of my people, go to those that know law in the city hall and among the officials in your government, and ask them under an intelligent tone, and they will be glad to render you a favorable reply, for they are glad to see me bring you out of darkness into light. Money, the gold, the silver, everybody trying to tell you go get your hands on some tangible, right? Listen, money does not make the man. It is free national standards and power that makes a man and a nation. So whatever makes the man makes the nation. And it's not the money. It's the energy. It's the energy, the gnosis, the comprehension, the God, if you will. He says the wealth of all national governments, like Pennsylvania, gold and silver and commerce, belong to the citizens, not the non-citizen nationals, not the resident aliens, not the none of that. The citizens of the states, right? He says the wealth of all national governments, gold and silver and commerce. That's the birth certificate and Social Security information under the Emergency Act, right? Belong to the citizens alone, and without your national citizenship, by name and principles, you have no true wealth. So if you're not operating with this, you're operating with the Social Security, you're operating under debits. You have no real wealth. You have no security. You're out there every day operating with full liability. Full. Woo. Man. Let me read that again, y'all. The wealth of all national governments, gold and silver and commerce, belong to the citizens alone. And without your national citizenship, by name and principles, you have no true wealth. Do y'all realize that I have that memorized? I didn't have to read that. Right? It says, and I am hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for a national, free, government. So mind you, national free and free national, they're the same. Free means sovereign and nation means state. Sovereign state. How about that? National state. State national. How about that? Y'all catching that? Hope y'all catching that. Because I done been caught it. I've been caught it. Absolutely. But you're right. The fact that we can say free national, right? I am a free national citizen. I have 2 U.S. citizens. One's a beneficiary of the district, and one is a fiduciary of the state. And they're one. Yes, I get to act as a U.S. citizen. Never actually being one, but acting as one. Free national. All day, all day, all day. I come in the name of Pennsylvania as a statesman. David Sell. You heard me? And I am hereby calling on all true Americans, all true citizens that stand for a national free government and the enforcement of the Constitution. Because we're talking about contracts. To help me in my great missionary work. Because I need support, I need all support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. So Drew Ali just said American citizens of the United States of America. And we're U.S. citizens. You're U.S. nationals and citizens. All right? Stop rejecting and start comprehending the role. Am I a U.S. citizen? No. I am Allah in the flesh, speaking to and through as man. So now I come in the name of Pennsylvania. And when I come in the name of, this is my citizen, which I possess. It's the comprehension. All right? All of that arguing about whether you're the straw, whether you're the all caps name, that shit is a distraction. It's going to get you way off your path. I promise you, I assure you. All right? The citizen, period, has an all caps name. When you sign, you don't sign in all caps. So that means that you, the signee, the one who is signing, the undersigner, you are identified as the people in the capacity of a citizen. Okay? Make sure from here on out you sign with your last name first as well. Because that's how professionally you declare your equitable title. Last name first. The last name represents the title. All right? Listen. Help me to save my people who have fallen from the constitutional laws of the government. So again, Drew Ali keep calling the USA the government. For sure, they be getting themselves in trouble too. Yeah, right. All right. He says, help me to save my people who have fallen from the constitutional laws of the government. I am depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again, that they will learn to love instead of hate. Even though we got a whole bunch of Moors out here hating humanity, acting crazy. Drew Ali speaks about this here too, on the passport application too. Not quite sure what you're asking about that, brother. When you say on the passport application too, what are you referencing, brother? Last name? Yeah, absolutely. On the passport application, it tells you last name first. When you put it in, it's going to tell you last name first. And when you look at the passport, you will also see its last name first. Next time you go to a doctor's office or something, look at how their names are written. It's going to be doctor last name, first name, middle name. It's always professor, right? Your teacher, you only ever spoke to your teacher by his last name. Yeah, Mr. Schuster, Mrs. Wilson. Last name is your professional name. It's your fiduciary name. Title. Right? All right. He says, I am depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again, that they will learn to love instead of hate, and will live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, supporting our free national constitution of the United States of America. So again, Noble Drew Ali is saying that his Moorish Americans are under the same constitution that all other Americans are under, and that he's seeking the assistance of all other true Americans to help teach Moorish Americans that truth. Yo, y'all are American citizens too. You're not Morocco. When you have all of these people who are, bashing a lot of these Moorish Americans, they're right. They're right. Because the Moorish Americans, they out here going left, and then they get mad because these people are telling them that they bugging, and it's just a cycle of hate. Hate comes from ignorance. You heard me? All right. So listen, Drew Ali says, I love my people as I do, and I desire their unity and mine back to their own free national and divine standard, because day by day they have been violating the national and constitutional laws of their government by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. So who did he say was out here fucking up? The Moorish Americans, the Negroes, right? He said he needs help. I love my people and desire their unity, because his people keep acting like they're not one equal with the rest. That's been beaten to their head, that they were lesser than. Now that the truth has unfolded, even in these days, now their children think they're better than everyone else. They missed the mark. We're supposed to be equal with everyone. Anywho, listen to what Drew Ali says, right? If Italians, Greeks, English, these are Europeans, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians. Italians, Greeks, and English, these are Europeans. The Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians, these are Middle Eastern and Asian, right? He says, now I'm going to read it back again. If Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. So he's telling you that you got to declare your free national name and religion too, Mr. Black man. Come up out of that. When we say come up out of her, we talking about come up out that darkness into the light. Oh, you trying to be right. I ain't trying. I am that I am. Right? Anywho, that was real strong. He was telling you. He says all other American citizens alike. So he's speaking about North Africans and all other citizens, because he just named what? European, Middle Eastern, Asian. And then he said all other American citizens alike. He said if you declare your nationality, right? He said Europeans, right? He said if the Italians, the Greek, the Italians, the Greeks, and the English, right? Then he said the Japanese, the Chinese, the Arabs, the Turks. That's Eastern, that's Asia. He said if all of them have to declare their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, then it is no more the right that that law be enforced upon all other citizens alike. Oh, you didn't know that you could be African in America and have white status? You didn't know that? Now you know. Check this out. He says, in all other governments, when a man is born and raised there and asks for his national descent name, and if he fails to give it, he is misused, imprisoned, or exiled. Any group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards of law by name and principles. Because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name. Because they place their trust upon issue and names formed by their forefathers. The trust in name of my forefathers is issued in the name of Pennsylvania. Drew Ali, he got this shit set out so plain. So plain. So plain. Did I tell you? So listen, right? The word negro, right? La palabra negro, right? The word negro deludes in Latin to the word, you know I ain't gonna say it. So this is what the word negro means, okay? The word negro deludes in the Latin language to that word the same as the word colored. Deludes to anything that is painted, varnished, and dyed, meaning colored over, right? Meaning its true self is not recognizable, right? This is colored. The word credit has colored my board. It is not all white anymore, right? It is literally stained, right? And we're trying to be white without stain, okay? Stain is debt. So we're trying to be without debt. In order to be without debt, you have to secure that and be with credit. Always keep the debt, but secure that shit. Absolutely. All right. He says that every nation must bear a national descent name of their forefathers, because by honoring thy mothers and by honoring thy fathers and thy mothers, your days will be lengthened upon the earth, this earth. These names, black, Negro, colored, and all of those subnational titles, have never been recognized by any true American citizen of this day. And mind you, that was back in the 1900s, he was told. Through your free national name, Pennsylvania, you are known and recognized by all nations of the earth that are recognized by the said national government in which they live. Yeah, so all other the 49 states and the District of Columbia can recognize Pennsylvania. Feel me? Listen. The 14th and 15th Amendments, so we know what that's about. Slavery ended, right? The 14th Amendment initiated a non-redeemable class of citizenship. Exclusive peonage. Institutionalized servitude. By using the Social Security number as a grown-up, right? That's what you're dealing. The 14th Amendment citizen is the fucking Social Security card. All these people talk about the 14th Amendment citizen. The U.S. citizen that you're running from is the Social Security card. The national citizen is the passport. That's why you use your passport once you get it, and you don't use this anymore. You don't use it anymore. The 14th and 15th Amendments brought the North and South in unit, placing the Southerners who were at that time without power with the constitutional body of power. And at that time, 1865, 13th Amendment, y'all. And at that time, 1865, the free national constitutional law that was enforced since 1774 declared all men equal and free. And if all men are declared by the free national constitution to be free and equal, since that constitution has never been changed, there is no need for the application of the 14th and 15th Amendments for the salvation of our people and the other citizens. Stop using the Soch. Stop using the Soch. So there isn't but one supreme issue for my people to use to redeem that which was lost. And that is through the above statements. Stop using the fucking Social Security card. Stop it. Stop it. Get right. You don't have to do it internationally if you don't have the finance to be international, at least be intra-national. You heard me? The Negro is the birth certificate is the Social Security policy. And if you don't correct that, for those who are born with black as their Social Security status, you must correct that with the SS5 form in order to be recognized lawfully and legally as an authorized agent. Secure beneficiary. He says, so there isn't but one supreme issue for my people to use to redeem that which was lost, and that is through the above statements. Then the lion and the lamb can lie down together in yonder hills, and neither will be harmed, because love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, equity, my nigga. Look, see, I did that. That's what happened when you jump out like that. Because love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice will be reigning in this land. Now listen to what he says, right? Because this is a foreteller, right? I'll show you in a moment. Jurali says, in those days, the United States will be one of the greatest civilized and prosperous governments of the world. But if the above principles are not, listen to him, but if the above principles are not carried out by the citizens and my people in this government, the worst is yet to come, because the great God of the universe is not pleased with the works that are being performed in North America by my people. And my people, and this great sin must be removed from the land to save it from enormous earthquakes, diseases, etc. So we know we've got extreme earthquakes and extreme diseases and extreme etceteras. Because we got people out here running around extremely using just the Social Security, racking up the national debt, never discharging the debt. We keep charging it up. $1 trillion national debt. We keep blaming everyone else. As long as you're using that source, you are adding to the debt. You're not adding to the credit of the nation. You're not. This knocks the credit. This knocks the debt down. All right. So I'm going to show you again because someone asked. The Moorish Americans Economic Security Manual. You can go to the website link in bio. It will take you right to the products and services page. You can receive this for a fee, bound, sent to you, or you can go to the home page and download these by yourself to have for yourself, right? When you go to the products and services page, you're paying not just for this information, but for this to be bound, and there's another portion. There's another portion. Well, I'll show you. You get this information, treaties, constitutions, and government forms for yourself to review, so that you could, you'll have all of this information to see everything I'm talking about, the DS-11, the SF-56, or excuse me, the 56 form, the SF-181 form. Again, I try to put as much information in it as possible. But that's what I'm reading from. All right, let me finish this up. And I, the prophet, do herein believe that this administration of the government, being more wisely prepared by more genius citizens that believe in their free national constitution and laws, and through the help of such other classes of citizens, I, the prophet, truly believe that my people, the blacks, the Negroes, the coloreds, or anyone who is not identifying within the white diaspora, I truly believe that my people will find the true and divine way of their forefathers and learn to stop serving carnal customs and merely ideas of man that have never done them any good, but have always harmed them. So I, the prophet, am hereby calling aloud with a divine plea to all true American citizens to help me to remove this great sin which has been committed and is being practiced by my people, blacks, Negroes, coloreds, everyone basically who's operating with the Social Security card, which has been committed and is being practiced by my people in the United States of America, because they know it is not the true and divine way, and without understanding, they have fallen from the true light into utter darkness of sin. And there is not a nation on earth today that will recognize them socially, religiously, politically, or economically, etc., in their present condition of their endeavorment in which they themselves try to force upon a civilized world. Woo! What? They will not refrain from their sinful ways of action. I don't know too many so-called black people that's up with this. Most of them trying to stay in the hood, stay hidden. Just being honest with you. He says they will not refrain from their sinful ways of action, and their deeds have brought Jim Crowism, segregation, and everything that brings harm to human beings on earth. So not just to the so-called black, but to all human beings. And they fought the Southerner for all these great misuses. But I have traveled in the South and have examined conditions there. And it is the works of my people continuously practicing the things which bring dishonor, disgrace, and disrespect to any nation that lives the life. Because ain't but one life to live. One love, one life. One love, one life to live. Right? And I am hereby calling on all true American citizens for moral support and finance to help me in my mission, in my great missionary work, to bring my people out of darkness into marvelous light. So Noble Drew Ali already brought us out. He already got the finance. It's already been pledged. So any more Science Temple of America talking about we need your money, blah, 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 them niggas is drying. They sucking you dry. They're sucking you dry. Because Drew Ali already got all the money. And he told you he was going to get it all. So Drew Ali already got the money, and he already pledged it. So there's no need for these more Science Temples of America talking about we need finance to uplift the nation, because it was already pledged. I'm telling you, man, these people out here robbing y'all, man. Fix my bookshelf. We study in this house, you know what I'm saying? So all of your secure party creditor gurus, all of your Moorish American gurus, how do we access? What is it that you're attempting to access? I don't understand the question specifically. What is it you're trying to access? This is what you need, though. And then how to utilize. Are you asking me how to utilize it? Once you have it, what do you do with it? Is that what you're asking? Possibly. Nature. All right, so that information you can get from me in a private consultation. Right? So there's $100 consultation fee to talk to me, to take me out of what we're doing right now, or to tell you explicitly, because what we're learning is how to do business. So I need you to understand that I am a businessman, and I can tell you all of those things, the things that I personally am utilizing. So it won't be like secondhand knowledge, right? I will, when we talk, I can send you. Now I put a lot of the information on my page to show you about the discharge of certain things. Right? Let me see. So again, if you wish to talk with me specifically, personally, there's the Cash App you can buy or you can get at me. Right? But I'm going to continue with this. So this is your key. All of your gurus who are telling you, to get your trust, to get your estate, it's already there. All of them that are telling you to secure your finances, it's already there. It's already ready, already. If you stop looking at your government as the enemy and think not what your government can do for you, but what you can do for your government, you will see the benefit. You will see the benefit in equity. If you come to your government in equity, your government is going to come to you in equity. Appreciate you all for coming. I'd appreciate it if y'all subscribe so that I could actually talk to you all tomorrow. because we're going into July, August. Yes. Tomorrow, officially, all of my live feeds will be you subscriber only. I have 6 subscribers right now. As of tomorrow, when I speak, it's going to be sub only. Not even sub talk only, sub only. So you're going to miss my feeds. There will still be, non-sub feeds where I will talk about things, but I'm not going to get as intricate. Those who invest in the information will receive their return on investments. Because we're learning how to be professional businessmen and women. We're not out here to get out over anybody, and we're only looking in equity. I only desire that which I deserve. Nothing more, nothing less. Right? As always, I'm your brother. All right, so if you do, like I said, the Cash App is in the, or you know what? Because let me stop mentioning that, right? But if you desire to contact me, right, give me a message, and I will send you what it is that I require of you, and we can do things that way. Okay? Absolutely. As always, I'm just your brother, man. Coming to protect you, guide you, and show you the way to your own salvation. Your own salvation. This is the name of Jesus, y'all. And Professor Davis L. Signing off.